Hey guys, this is another run of mine on World of Illusion Spiritus Pandemonium. This run is going to focus on Tifa as the main DPS, and it's also going to be a 0-turn run. The biggest challenge really, if you're not using Raines as your primary DPS, is obviously the last 19% health, where the boss gets a plus 400% HP damage resistance, essentially neutering most of the HP damage that you can do except during launch. Your best bet is to give Tifa a Raines LD call, because that enables you to have two call abilities that can launch. In addition, you do need to bring the boss as low as possible before it triggers the 400% HP damage resistance, and this means bringing the boss as close as possible to 20% and then doing one massive attack from Tifa to bring the boss below 10% and then only triggering the HP damage resistance. I'll cover more about that in the later part of the video, but first, coming to the party setup, I have Luna Freya, Selphie and Tifa. Luna Freya starting first and then the turn order respectively with Selphie and Tifa. The strategy otherwise is pretty straightforward. You have Luna Freya as the Force Gauge Charger, and here I actually went into BT mode with her pretty early after just one LD use, and that's mainly because I use her BT mode to help me charge my Force Gauge. This will then enable me to go LD into Force Time and then have two more LD users to back up the Force Time after this. And this will at least enable Luna Freya herself to deal some okay-ish decent damage to the boss without increasing the turn count at all. Importantly, before you go into BT mode and FR with Luna Freya, you want at least 2 energy heal skill users remaining, and this will allow you to finally end her rotation right at the end with 5 energy heal remaining, since the 3 LD users will increase her skill use by 1. This gives you a little bit more buffer so that you can help to charge the Force Gauge before popping summon and switching turns to Selphie. In a 0-turn run, you do need to pop summon right at the end of Luna Freya's turn, otherwise Luna Freya herself will increase the turn count. Now, if you are not too fast about the turn count at all, I would highly recommend to save the brother summon in that case, because when you pop summon mode, the damage that your summon actually does bypasses HP damage resistance, which also means that right at the end, if you pop brother summon when Tifa has 1 turn of Force Time remaining, it will deal its usual tremendous amounts of damage to the boss and will help you much easily to kill off the boss when it has the HP damage resistance below 19% health. If you do that, you can still complete the run, but it will be a 2-turn run as opposed to a 0-turn run, because both Luna Freya and Selphie would need to increase the turn count before Tifa can act. As I'm finishing through with Luna Freya here, I just want to give credit and shout out to Sunawan, and I'll put a link to his run as well. I was attempting this run for quite a lot of times, but I really struggled at the last 19% health, because the key really is that you need to adjust your damage so that you can, like I said earlier, bring the boss to below 10% HP in one massive attack. And Sunawan actually had a very good idea of using Tifa's LD before her BT+, which is not normally what you want to do, because you then lose out on her 2 follow-up attacks after her LD. But by doing so, you sort of adjust your damage so that you actually bring the boss to exactly 20% health before your Force Time ends. And you also have slightly longer access to Tifa's BT aura, since you use her BT plus after her LD. So this is the end of Luna Freya's rotation, and like I said earlier, you should have 5 energy heals if you did it correctly. So just spam all her energy heals here to help recharge the Force Gauge, because right here you will need to pop summon if you want to preserve the turn count at 0. Luna Freya cannot pass a turn to someone else without increasing the turn count, unfortunately. The goal in summon mode is pretty straightforward. The key is that you want to use the 6 turns to charge the force gauge to 100% with Selphie, as well as of course set up her LD call ability and her LD Rapture as well, so that Tifa will be able to launch the boss during her turn. You must charge the force gauge to 100% and end Selphie's turn before summon mode ends, otherwise Selphie herself will need to increase the turn count by 1 to pass a turn to Tifa outside of summon mode. Now, in case you're wondering why I use Drain here instead of Selphie's LD, the main reason is that Drain has high turn rate, whereas her LD actually has low turn rate. And if you use her LD, Selphie's turn will be somewhere further down the turn order bar, and this can lead into issues when the boss resummons the minions at 59%. There's a high likelihood then, if you use her LD, that Selphie's turn will come after the minions, and she will no longer be able to participate in any launches. If you use Drain like I did, this wouldn't be an issue because Selphie's turn would be higher up in the turn order bar. This is what I mentioned earlier. I used Tifa's LD right here before using her BT+. The main reason for this is damage control, and you'll see why later. Right near the end of the force time, I will bring the boss to exactly 20%, and then I will bring the boss to like 7% roughly, just by one big attack from Tifa. Once you've set up with Tifa, which is her FR and BT+, the rest of the fight is actually pretty straightforward. Here I use her full throttle attack, but essentially the rest of the fight is just spamming battle cry, because that is the only way now to keep the turn count at 0. This will bring the boss all the way down to below 10% HP with 1 turn of force time remaining, after which you can then use the Seed Rains, LD call and base call to finish off the boss, and if the boss still isn't dead, just spam battle cries with Tifa until the fight is over. Like I said earlier in the video, if turn count isn't a concern of yours, then you can always save Brother Summon and pop Brother Summon right at 1 turn of force time remaining, and Brother Summon should deal around 20 million HP damage or so to the boss, which helps to contribute to the damage that you need to do to kill off the boss at the end. Right here you see the boss is at 20% exactly, so the HP damage resistance hasn't triggered because it only triggers when it's below 19% health. And like I said, this allows you to do at least one more massive attack, bring the boss to here 7% HP, and this way it only triggers the HP damage resistance at the last 7%, and you can then whittle down the last remaining HP with Seed Rains, LD and base call, and your summon mode as well if you still have summon available. So that's it for this run. As always, I hope the videos were helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shinryu fight. Bye!